Chav Hey, then we're ready for Chanukah. The Torah says, Vayehi Oyer. Yehi is 25. Yehi is Gematria 25. And then the next word is Oyer. The 25th word in the Torah is Oyer. So we're getting ready. Avad Chanukah is Torah Shebal Peh, my Chanukah, the Tanur Rabbanim. The Gemara brings the famous story that the Yevonim came into the Heichal and they were metama all the Shmonim. And then they said, Lishon, and the Shemin lasted for 8 days. Lishona Acheres, Kavum V'Asomim Yomim, Toivim B'Halal V'Haidah. The next year, they made a Yom Tif with Halal and Haidah. Why the next year? Why not that year? When it happened, what are they waiting for the next year? Every nace that happens to Klal Yisrael is associated with the time, the cycle of the year. Sukkot is not a coincidence that it's Tishrei, Pesach, Nisan, every Yom Tif. It's the Segulas Hazman, the year cycle works like that. But when the nace of Chanukah happened, and it was a tremendous nace, the Nitzachon of the Milchama, and the nace Shaloi Kederach HaTeva of the Shemen, they didn't know if it has a shaychus, if it was Zman Grama. They didn't know if it has a specific shaychus to that time of the year. L'shona acheres, the next year, what happened the next year? The next year, they saw the light. You have to realize that when it comes to Chanukah, you can see the light. You can see the oyer of Torah. The Lamed Vav Neiros, we light 36 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in ascending order. Lamed Vav is connected to 36 hours that there was the Oyer Hagonos, Kadosh Baruch originally by the Bria Sa'olam, when he created the world, the first 3 days, till Wednesday, Yom Revi, when he put the Shemesh, there was 12 hours, 36 hours of an Oyer Ruchni. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was going as it for the Tzadikim La'asid Lavoi. Those 36 Oyros, where are they hidden? In the 36 Mesechtes of Shas, and in the 36 Neiros of Chanukah. If someone uses his eyes to only see the right things, he's able to see that oil in the Torah or in the Neiros of Chanukah. So the next year they've said, wow, it is Segulas Hazman. It does have to do with this time of the year. And then they realize it's not a coincidence. Chav Hei Kislev, which is coming up. In America, when did they start? Wednesday night, right? When is it? Same schedule, right? The Lamed Vav Neiros. The Emes says, according to some Sifrei Kabbalah, the 36 hours of the Or Hagonos was not Yom Rishon, Yom Sheni, Yom Shlishi. It was actually Friday morning in Gan Eden, from Friday morning till Motzei Shabbos. On Leil Shabbos, it's Kulei Or. So that's the 36 hours. Now you can't have both, because you have to go with Pshat. Either the 36 hours of Yom Rishon, Yom Sheni, Yom Shlishi, or the 36 hours of Shishi till Motzei Shabbos. Unless, of course, if you go with the Shatenstein edition, there are 72 volumes in Shas. There's actually 73, but they did cite a double, Lamed Gimel 1, Lamed Gimel 2, in order that it should end with 72. The 36 times 2, the Oyros in Shas, you can see the Oyer in the Torah when you like. Now, the Gemara says, Ner Ish Ubeisoi. Ner Ish Ubeisoi is the basic din that every household should have one candle. And it's fascinating. The Rishonim ask already, and there's a very interesting Aruch HaShulchan on this Nakuda. Everyone has to eat matzah. Everyone has to shakal lulav. What's the pshat that Ner Chanukah, only the main member of the household, Me'ikr Hadin, has to light? It should be a mitzvah that everyone should have to do. What's the pshat that only one member of the household, officially, for protocol, has to light? It's a pella. The mitzvah is for all the Yidden. There's a Gemara that when someone sees a Ner Chanukah, even if he didn't light, Haroya Ner Chanukah, Mevarich. What's that? Fret Toisis in Sukkah. Haroya, someone eating matzah. Haroya, someone shakaling lulav. Haroya, Sukkah. You don't make a bracha of Birchas Haroya. Says the Aruch HaShulchan on Moira de Kazach. The Iker mitzvah of Ner Chanukah, the Persume Nisa, get ready? It's a big vart. Is to see the Ner Chanukah. You have to eat the matzah, shakal the lulav, blow the shofar or hear the shofar. That's a separate share, if it's the blowing or the hearing. The mitzvah of Ner Chanukah is to see, and everyone does that. But what are you going to see? Who lit? Where? What? So they set a protocol that at least for minimal, one member of a household should light and make a bracha of lahadlik in order to enable the real deal that everyone should see a Ner Chanukah. And when you see a Ner Chanukah, even if you're not lighting, you make a bracha every single time of she'asa nisim, because that's the mitzvah, to see the Ner Chanukah. Now the basic is Ner Ishu Beisai, one per house. But then the Gemara says Hamahadrin, so every single member of the house lights. V'hamahadrin min hamahadrin. So then we go in ascending order. Now Shitas Toisus, and there are those that are noyig like this, that when you choose to do mahadrin min hamahadrin, you want to really verify which day of Chanukah it is. So if it's the fourth night, and you're going to light 4 candles, but let's say there's 3 people in your house, if you're going to merge and do mahadrin, which is that every single person lights, and you're going to do it to signify the night of Chanukah, take stock, I need a calculator here, there's 3 people in the family, and it's the 4th night, you're going to light 12 candles, but someone that's going to see that, he's going to say, I don't know, is this the 6th night and there's 2 people in the family, or is it the 3rd night and there's 4 people in the family? You won't be able to signify which day of Chanukah it is. So when you choose to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 option to signify which day of Chanukah it is, be mevater. Don't have everyone light. Just whether there's 1 or 8 or 22 people in the household, light only one person for that amount. Other Rishonim argue, and that's what a lot do, is no, mahadrin min hamahadrin. We do both. Every single person lights, plus the amount of candles of the night of the chasna. How will you work that out? Light them in different places, and you'll signify each Chanukah, each menorah will have, if it's the 4th night and there are 7 people, how many candles are you going to need? 28 candles. Without the shamash, 28 candles. And you light them in different places. Now there's the Shitas Rambam. I don't know if anyone, by a show of hands, does anyone do the Shitas Rambam? The Rambam has a very interesting Shita. The Rambam Shita is in Hilchas Chanukah. Only the Balabayas lights, Perek Daled. Only the Balabayas lights. But the Rambam didn't have a Chanukah. He didn't have a menorah. A person would come home, count how many people he has in the family. The Rambam's example actually is if there are 10 people in the family. Okay, nice. And then on the first night you light. He lights, the fellow lights. The Rosh HaMishpacha, Balabais, the Baal Habais, you have to own the house, yeah. If you don't own a house, you can't light Chanukah candles. Sell your ksus to get candles, or sell your ksus to get a house, yeah? I don't know what costs more, a house or a ksus. The first night you light 10, the next light 20, 30, until the last night you light 80. The fellow himself, and it's all over the house, he lights 80 candles. The Balabais himself lights. He multiplies the night of Chanukah, it is the number, by the amount of people in the house, and that's what you light. I wasn't sure, according to the Rambam, I had an interesting shaila. This fellow, he has 10 family members, wife and 8 kids, or whatever, his nephew that came in from, where are we, Miami? Not Miami, from Hollywood, he came in, and yeah, fine, 10. What if this fellow on the 3rd night, again, so you don't, first of all, why do 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80? Why can't you do 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I got the gist that you're supposed to light for every member. And also you're supposed to ascend more. Moisif ha'hoilach. Okay, so do 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. No, you do moisif ha'hoilach also by the amount of the family. So this family though, with 10 people, it's the 3rd night. How much is he supposed to light? 30. He doesn't, he only has 22. What should he do? Now first of all, if he only has 22, that's a crisis, but he should first count and make sure to keep extra neighbors for the next few nights. But I'm talking in a case that he knows he's getting a delivery, what do you call it, one comes to the door always, the package? Yeah, right? So he knows tomorrow he's getting more. But right now he only has 22. Last night he lit 20. How many should he light the 3rd night? This fellow with 10 people.
12.
Why 12? 1 second. He lit 10 the first night, 20 the second night. He has 22 left. He's getting much more for tomorrow. What should he light? He's not going to deliver the full 30.
See, if you do 10...
He did already 10 and 20.
Right, no, so for the 3rd night, so you want to show the 2 extra nights, 11 and 12.
So I have a question. That's excellent, but very good. But I have a question. This guy on the 2nd night, how many candles? 20. Is it the pshat that he says, okay, candle number 1 is my first, candle number 2 is my second, candle number 3 is for Genendel, the wife? Or no, it's first candle number 1 for me, then candle number 2 for Genendel. Meaning, is it on the third night when it's 10 people? Is he doing 3 times 10 or 10 times 3? So you'll ask me, what's the difference? He's going to anyway. Doesn't have a Chanukah. Yeah, he's just lighting candles all over the house. Watch, there will be a difference. But, and we'll get to that soon. But I'm clearing in the Rambam. What should he do when he has 22 and he's supposed to do 30 the third night and he has more candles coming? This Shiloh, though, is reminiscent about, according to us, a fellow that lives alone and he's supposed to light the third night. L'kuli Alm, if he lives alone, the third night, 3 candles. What if he only has 2 candles? He's getting more candles on Amazon tomorrow. What does he do the third night? There's a Moirid Geshtikkel in the Avi Ezri from Rav Shach. He says, push it, he should light 2. Push it. At least do as much as you can. And he's arguing on everybody. And he says it's push it. It's the Ksav Sofer, the Mishnah Berurah, the Beis Halevi, all the Gedolei Chachamim say no. If it's the third night, light 1 or 3. No Inyan of 2. Because either you should go back to Ner Ishu Beisai or represent the number of what night of Chanukah it is. 2 on the third night, toik nisht. That's what most Achrayim hold. Where is Rav Shach coming from? Because the Gemara brings that besides the Inyan of showing which night of Chanukah it is, there's also another Inyan of Malin B'Kodesh V'Lo Merid. Last night you lit 2. You are getting a new delivery. At least light 2. What if it's the 6th night and you have 3? And you're getting more, but you lit last night 5, so you're anyways going down. You did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now the 7th night you're going to have more. What do you do the 6th night now? You have 3? Go down to 1, or at least do 3. You're not doing Ma'al B'Kodesh. You're anyways going down B'Kodesh. Is it Kedai to 3, or do you just back up and say, I'll do 1? The Sfasem is clear. A fellow, how many you need for a full set without the Shamish? If you want to be in advance, order it, the pre-made ones. 36. The Lamed Vav Shois, the Lamed Vav Neris. A fellow has 27 candles, and he knows he's not getting any more. Should he light 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 1? Or maybe no, because then he's going down. Better to do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 7, 8. Rav Shloime Kluger, Chochma Shloime in Shulchan Aruch. Someone lit 2 candles the first night. Weird. Lit 2 candles the first night. He has a tzad. Okay. You have the ascending in order. You framed yourself. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Kacha, you started with 2, keep on going up. He has another tzad. No. 2, you ruined it. You weren't the Yotze. Lesh them out. Not one of them. Both of them. Restart. Lesh them both out. Restart. Others say no. Lesh one out. Then let's with 1. But that has to do with the Shiloh of how you represent the Mylin B'Kodesh. Now, an interesting Nakuda. We know that how much oil do you have to have inside the Nair? We're going to, coming back to what we handled, but we're moving along and then I'm going to come back. You have to put a half hour's worth of oil. You can't just put 2 minutes worth of oil. But a famous Gemara, Kovsa Ein Zokuk. If it went out, you don't have to relight. This is, by the way, a message in Avodas Hashem. Do your best, do your ishtadlis, put in the amount of oil and wick that you need, but then it's not up to you. The result is not your business. The Bashefer is in charge. Sometimes we realize it less, sometimes we realize it more, but he's in charge. Kafsa ein zakakul. The Achrayim ask a Shaila, what if Kafsa b'mezid? Kafsa b'mezid. You lit it, and there was a half hour's worth of oil. And I have 2 cases. One is he knew when he lit it already that he's planning to lesh it ice, put it out after 2 minutes. Or alternatively, he lit it with all the right kavanas, but then 2 minutes later he came and he lehedya put it out. Is he yaitza? Was he yaitza? Or does he have to relight it? Again, we paskin kofsa ein zakakla. If it goes out, ba'oines, wasn't not to your fault, me'ikar hadin, you don't have to relight it, you were already yaitza. But what if it's kofsa b'mezid? What if you put it out b'mezid? Do we say, since you did it b'mezid, you're not yaitza? That's a shayla that Achronim has. So I'll give you a few interesting ways of looking at this. The Gemara says, what if a person doesn't have enough for Ner Chanukah and also Ner Shabbos? Which is more important, Ner Chanukah or Ner Shabbos? Ner Shabbos. Why can't you do both? Light the Ner Chanukah, put it out after 2 minutes, and okay, and then, especially those if you light outside the Ner Chanukah and the Ner Shabbos, of course, is inside, I mean, because otherwise there's a catch. Why don't you just light it and say, L'hadlik ner shel Shabbos v'shel Chanukah? What? Ein ois and mitzvahs, chavilois. What do you mean? Ner le'echad, ner le'meya. Ner is gematria mir. Mir le'echad, mir le'meya. But they say that. But you obviously can't have the ner Chanukah, ner Shabbos. For one, the ner Chanukah is outside, the ner Shabbos is inside. But light the ner Chanukah, put it out, done deal, and then go do the ner Shabbos. So maybe because that's worse, that's kofsa b'nezid. Then you put it out, that's worse. Then you weren't yaitz in ner Chanukah yet. Especially on Friday, because when you lit it on Friday, you lit it earlier. You lit it, it was before the Zman. Everyone agrees then that you have to relight it. But you know what? What about Reb Shlomo Kluger's case, when you lit 2 the first night? He has it sad, what did we discuss? That if you light 2 the first night, to the extent that the din is, you weren't yaitza. I have a question. He already was yaitza. When he lit the first one, he already was yaitza. Pshat is lighting the second one is putting it out. It's putting it out. It's kafsa. Another example, in first Gemara, the Gemara says a nair, by the way, means like a cup with the oil. There's a whole bunch of wicks in it, and you light a whole bunch of them, and it ends up turning into like a torch. A lot of different people that wanted to light. And they all lit in the same bowl, and then it turned into one big thing. So the Gemara says, no one is yaitza. Why isn't the first guy yaitza? It can't be worse than if he would put it out. The first guy that lit the first candle, he's good to go. Afterwards, more and more people came, they all lit, it turned into a Gansel and a Lag Baimer thing. But why wasn't the first guy yaitza? Because he put it out. It's putting it out, then it's worse.
He put it on, or somebody else put it on?
Oh, but he knew that that's what they were planning to do. Oh, you're right. Wow, okay, Rabasher, good Rabasher from the Mir. This is a good kasha, because when he lit, his first one is good to go. You know what? I'll continue with you. There's a sugya called ner shel shtei piyos. What's a ner shel shtei piyos? A ner, again, by the way, doesn't mean a candle. It means the cup. The cup that holds the oil is a ner. I'll prove that to you. That's, by the way, very interesting. I'm going to get back to the ner with 2 wicks. Don't forget, but I want to digress for 1 second. Watch this. A person, if he doesn't have money for shemen and neiros of Chanukah, has to be moicher ksusai. He has to sell the shirt off his back in order to get the ner Chanukah. Someone that's really that desperate, how much does he have to buy? Just one ner issue beisai, or do you even have to go and hustle and sell your shirt for the mahadrin? What do you hold? Is there a din of moicher ksus even for the mahadrin? On one hand, you could say, listen, basics, back to basics, ner issue beisai. It's enough. I have to sell my shirt. I have enough for the ner issue beisai.
You want to know if he's mechuyev to do it?
Mechuyev. Is there if he's mechuyev to? Why would he be mechuyev to? Fascinating, because if you open up Shulchan Aruch doesn't even say the din of ner issue beisai. Like opening statements. This is what you do. Do ascending order. Like, give us the basics first. That's why I say Klal Yisrael. Klal Yisrael already accepted upon themselves to do Mahadrim and Mahadrim. You know anyone that does Nerish Beisai? You know anyone that just does Nerish Beisai? Yeah, you ever saw that? Someone on the second night lighting only one? No one does that. Klal Yisrael.
Somebody might make sushi for you.
Oh. The lashon of the Rambam is, if a person is Moicher Ksusai, Liknois, Shemen V'neirois. Lechanukah. Fret or Sameach. What does it mean he's being moicher ksusai? Liknois, shemen, v'neiros. You only need 1 candle. For moicher ksus is enough for 1.
8 nights.
Oh, 8 nights. Yeah, but ner doesn't mean a candle. What does a ner mean?
Okay.
The cup. How many cups you need?
8
If you
wicks. 8 wicks.
He doesn't say the wicks though. He says shemen v'neiros. Oh, the neiros means the wicks.
Yeah.
L'chayra, maybe neiros means the cup, and then 1 cup is enough if you would sell ksus only for the basics. The Or Sameach argues, he says, you see from here you have to be moicher ksus even for the mahadrin. But what if you have 36 candles, Taka? You have enough, you got from Amazon in advance, the 36, you're ready to go. Your neighbor doesn't have any. Should you give him 8? Should you give him 8? He's in a different house. He's not going to be able to light it all. Should you give him 8? Yes. So he should do at least the Iker Ner Issue Basic. How many are you left with now?
One's Zayresa, one's Gabon.
No, the rest is Chanukah.
No, there is. Chesed.
Oh, but Chesed on a mitzvah, but that's... Okay, so maybe...
If Ani comes to your house when you're about to daven.
I hear.
They don't start,
They stuck
right?
it first, right?
One's the rice and
Right,
one's the bun.
right. Can I tell you a Maisa from Reb Shlomo Karlebach? Tell you a Maisa. He once went with a whole entourage of his chevra for hours in the shuk of Arbas Haminim until he really, really worked and kept on looking, and finally he picked up a Chudikah Esrog. And he's walking with all of his chevra, and all of a sudden a woman comes over to him and says, "Wow, Rabbi, that's a nice esrog." And he says, "Would you like to have it?" This is after working on it for hours. And he'll get a different esrog. So you have to know. But assuming, I'm the numbers guy over here. Actually, Rabash is the numbers guy. But if you give your friend the 8 candles, how many are you left with now?
36.
28. What are you going to do now for yourself, though? Back to that question: 1 1 1 1 1 7 8, or 1 2 3 4 6 4 5 6, and go back down. That's totally in the machlekes of Rav Shach.
Beisel Beishamai about.
Yeah, but going up and down. Avad.
No, but do you have to talk in?
Oh, that Beishami Bisel of the yeah, very good. Not the one of the neighbors, about the
About first.
But this is betachan on someone else's mitzvah, Yenim's gashmius is deine ruchnius. Yenim's ruchnius is oichet deine ruchnius.
Once you give it to him, so then it's in the sign. Will Hashem allow me to get the extra?
The extra
candles?
ones.
So you
The
start,
extra ones.
Start regular.
Right, but then all of a sudden Amazon will send you. It just comes. The bill comes afterwards. Now again, I owe you a ner shall stay pious. What happens now? The Gemara says a ner that has 2 wicks. It's a ner, a cup with 2, not a whole bonfire, just 2. The Gemara says 2 people could be yotze with that same one. Frek Toisvis, where do you have 2 people lighting in the same place? Listen to Akasha. Toisvis asks. The Gemara discusses ner shall stay pious. 2 people could be yotze. Frek Toisvis says, where do you have 2 people lighting in the same place? So Taisa says like this. The Gemara says you're supposed to light bepesach bayis shebechotzer. That's the lashon of the Gemara. Where do you light? Al pesach beisay mi bachutz. Shitas Taisa says they used to have a few different batim in a chotzer. Taisa shita is you're supposed to light at the entrance of the chotzer. So Taisa says, okay, it's 2 different balei batim. They both have their own house, and they're both lighting at the opening of the chotzer. The shiz, they can both use the same there. But Rashi says no. Pesach Beisai Shebechotzer means at the opening of your doorway of your house. For Taisus and Rashi, how do you have 2 people? How do you have 2 people lighting in the same place? What do you say? There's a solution for that? How do you have 2 people lighting in the same place? Bishlema.
They're not related.
You hear the shit? Oh, no, you're ready. Bishlema, if you're lighting by the chotzer, so 2 different balei batim are lighting at the Pesach HaChatzer. But like Rashi, that you're lighting at your own door, how do you have 2 people lighting at the same door? So Frekta Marsha, what do you mean? Maybe they're doing Mahadrin, that every single person in the house lights. Hoppa! This is Gavaldik. Zok, Toisvis L'Shitasai. Once you choose to do Mahadrim and a Mahadrim, you don't have everyone in the house light. I guess if it's the 4th night, he has 4 Neiris Shel Shtei Piyos, not just 1. But that's Toisvis Kasha. But l'chayr you can have it. What if it's 2 people living in the same house? Not a father and a son, or a balabais and a guest, or two people, 2 partners. I mean, who should lie? But they should make a goyrel every year, switch you off. I mean, l'chayr it's a pella. What's Toisvis' problem? You have that they're each one is lighting the ner shall stay piyos. Now we said that there's a birchas haroyeh. Birchas haroyeh, as we explained earlier, that be'emes the ikar mitzvah is that every single person should be roya b'ner Chanukah. And what do you do if you don't have your own candles? But you roya ner Chanukah, which bracha do you make? Sh'asa nisim only. The hadlok and the bayis is the hechatimtza that someone should be a roya. When, and this is going to come now first circle, when does one make the bracha of Sh'asa nisim? I mean, I'm assuming you make the bracha of lahadlik before you light. I mean, maybe the shamash you should light before or totally after. I don't think you should light the shamash. A lot of people make that mistake. They make the bracha of lahadlik, and then they go light the shamash first. Mistake. You make a lahadlik, and then you light the candle. When do you make the sh'asa nisim? Happens to be a big machlekes rishonim. Many rishonim say you make both brachas, lahadlik and sh'asa nisim, and then you first light. But there's a mahalach to say no. There's no such thing as a sh'asa nisim by hadloka. There's only one kind of sh'asa nisim, birchas haroyah. You're supposed to light the first candle, look at it, and then make a sh'asa nisim, a birchas haroyah. it's not that there's two kinds of Shas Anisim. The Shas Anisim of a Roya and the Shas Anisim of a Madlik. There's only one kind of a Shas Anisim. Haroya ner Chanukah mevarach Shas Anisim. By a Madlik, he's Madlik, lights the first one, looks at it. So when do you make the Shas Anisim? After the first ner.
Why is it worse than Megillah?
By Megillah, because by Megillah you don't have a choice. Because by Megillah, if you're going to do the Shas Anisim after, it's going to be 43 minutes later. Or 22, or you give me 22 minutes, I'll give you the Megillah. But however long it takes, however long, this is from New York. Guys are here from New York, someone got the joke? Unbelievable. By Megillah, you have no choice. Even the Shechiyanu also, like, they're like by Sukkah there's a thing. You make the Leishav, then you sit, because it takes 2 seconds. By Megillah, more than a hefsek, it's going to be over. It's the entire Hemshech. Over here, you still have.
And by the first night, you also get
So by the first night, what you're supposed to do is find the neighbor who likes 2 minutes before you and look at his. You always have to have one neighbor like that. Not the one you gave the candles to, a different one. Now, again, some say you make the Shas Anisim before the first Ner. Some say you make it after the first Ner, look at it, and then light. Or let's say the other B'nai Abayis, beside the father, if you're doing the Mahadrim and the Mahadrim, should look at the fathers and look at that one. It's interesting. That means if a father and a son is lighting, the son could make the Shas Anisim before he lights his first one, because he's looking at his father's. Only the Baal Abayis that's lighting first has to make the Shas Anisim after he lights at least the first candle.
Rabbi should let his son light first.
So he should get the Shas Anisim on that. Okay, we learn with son that you do that, because that's totally right in the Brisker Rov. If you're supposed to have in mind, you're not being yoitza with his. So that's already a whole separate topic. It's very good. The Meiri and the Sharatzin Halacha brings this. He says, let's say you're on an island, you're in the middle of nowhere, you don't have any neiros, and you don't even have a roya, you don't see anyone's. He still says every single day of Chanukah you make a Shas Anisim. Not just the first day. Shechiyanu, you make the first day also. Probably before Halal, I would assume you should do it. But if you don't have candles. But not a hefsek in the Halal, I don't know. The Meiri holds that if you don't have neiros and you're not a roya either, there's still a Shas Anisim every day. Preferably, if there's neiros, you do it either when you're lighting the candles or looking at the candles. So again, the Shas Anisim is either before the first one, after the first one, or Bechlal, anytime during Chanukah as you choose, when you're eating the donut. The Avud Raham has an interesting shita. He says, when do you make the Shas Anisim? Before the new one. Before the new one. It's the 7th night, let's say. You're lighting 7 candles. On a regular guy, didn't give it away, didn't this. How many did he light the night before? 6. So on the 7th night, he lights 6 candles. It looks at them if he chooses to, and then makes the Shas Anisim before the new one. That's the interesting sheet of the Avud Raham. I don't know anyone that does that. But I was thinking, what if you do a merger with the Avud Raham, B'das the Rambam? Watch this. A fellow, we'll go with the Rambam's Mahalach. There was 10 people in the family. The first night, 10. The next night, 20. The next night, 30. On the second night, when does he make the Shas Anisim? He lit 10 candles the first night. He's lighting 20 candles the second night. When does he make the Shas Anisim? After lighting 1 candle, because he did his first one, and now he's doing his second one. That's new. And then he's doing Genendels? Or no. He's lighting the first one for all 10 members of his family. And then he's lighting 10 for the second member. So when he light the nafkamina, what we started this year with is, according to the Avud Raham, that the Shas Anisim is before the new candle, is the new candle in the Rambam Shita on the second night after the first candle, or before the 11th one. Right? Last night he lit 10. He's moving on and going to 20. And we declared 15, he wouldn't do 15. It's either 10 or 20. But the truth is that would also affect that other Shiloh. And you mentioned it before. If you learn that he's lighting his first, and then his second, and then his wife's, and then his oldest kid, and then the next one, and then the next one. So it could be, if he has 12 candles on the second night, he will do 12. Because at least he's doing 10 for everyone, plus he's doing also his extra one. Or no, there's no in-betweens. There's the sets of 10, of 20, of 30s. So the Avud Raham served us as a way to see the nafkamina in the Shittas Rambam.
But is the first candle we lit, is the new one?
Oh, that's also an excellent shiloh. Which one is the Mahadron and which one is the Moshe V'Hailach? That's totally I'm very not good at this. I'm not a leftist, but there's a big shiloh about when you're lighting from left to right. Is the newest candle the Nerishu? Where's the Nerishu Beisai candle? On the 5th night, you're lighting 5 candles. Which one is the Ner Shuvesa candle? The first one that you light, which is the 5th, or the first one? That's a big tumult.
When you're making the bracha.
It's the one you're making the bracha on. Wow, that's very impressive. It's the one you're making the bracha on. I'm still not sure though. You make a bracha ala chilas matzah and like many rishayin and afikoyim is still the ikr matzah. I'm not sure if you, even though you're making, it's an excellent point though, that even if you're making the lahadlik, it's enough kamina, which is the ikr one. We don't have time for this, but the truth is there's a tshuva in Rabbi Kiva Eger in Simin Yud Gimel about if a person is in the middle of the 6th night and he lit 3 candles already and he suddenly remembered he didn't make any brachas yet. He forgot to make the brachas. Can you make the brachas in the middle? And part of Rabbi Kiva Eger's issue is, can you make a bracha because the candles are still burning? And he says for sure you could, but the lahadlik he's not sure. But part of what he declares is because which is the ikr one, and then he adds, listen to a diak of Rabbi Kiva Eger. Oh, that's so. Whether you make a bracha on Mahadran Bechlal is a machlekes El Yerab and Pri Chodesh. That's part of the tshuva of Rabbi Kiva Eger. Excellent. But then he says, Im loy kavu harishonos. Listen to a lesson. Im loy kavu harishonos. You can still make the bracha. Why does he say rishonos? It should be the rishon. Unless you say this yesh breira. Watch this. Yesh breira. It's the 6th night. You lit 3 candles going this way. You suddenly remember you didn't make a bracha. You're chazering the Jewish Rabbi Kiva Eger, like the El Yerabah, you can make a bracha mahadran, like the Pri Chodesh you can't. But then you mitzarif, that's the candles are still burning, and you're saying, but some of them did go out. Which one is the ikr one to buffer you, to let you know what I'm saying? If the one candle is still there, does it let you light it? I once wanted to say Chiddush, if it's the 6th night. By the way, I'm finished, but whoever wants to, but I'm just speaking out loud here. If it's the 6th night and you already lit 3 candles and all 3 went out already, I have a patent for Rabbi Kiva Eger. Light the 4th one without a bracha. Now it's there, so one of the candles is lit, and now you can make a bracha on the 5th and the 6th. If Rabbi Kiva Eger says when you lit 3 and you didn't make the bracha, as long as one of the 3 is still burning, it allows you to make a bracha. So even if all 3 went out, light a 4th one, realize it, make the bracha on the 5th and the 6th. The truth is,
The mitzvah is over.
I'm a suffix about that. Again, we don't have time. I have a suffix. If the mitzvah is not over, since it's really the 6th night, can you pull it off? And it's totally really in his shiloh, which is the ikr one. It goes. It's the truth is, you see from here that the sugyas, like in any sugya in Shas, it's moisef v'hoylech. There's always more and more to grab. If you'll give me 60 seconds, I want to just say an akuda eragarata. Yosef is told by his father, "Hine achecha royim b'shchem." B'shchem is Rosh Tevis, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchusai. We know that angels, malachim, have 6 wings in Yeshaya, but in Yecheskel it says they only have 4 wings. The Gemara explains in Chagiga, Bizman HaMikdash they have 6 wings. Bizman HaChorban they only have 4. The 6 wings are Baruch Shem Kavod Malchusai L'Olam V'Ad. Which wings are missing in the Bizman HaChorban? Machlekes in the Sifrei Kabbalah. Some say L'Olam V'Ad is missing. Some say Kavod Malchusai is missing. But whichever one it is, our job is to be mashlim. We're in Golis. Yaakov says, Yosef, go to B'Shchem. B'Shchem, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchusai. We have to bring back the L'Olam V'Ad. L'Olam V'Ad, Rosh Tevis, Lamed Vav. 36 candles. You take the Lamed Vav, and that brings back the L'Olam V'Ad, and then it will be Baruch Shem Kavod Malchusai, L'Olam V'Ad, and Avad, this Heilige Beis Medrash will go flying up to, together with all the Heilige Batei Medrash, to Eretz Yisrael, and then we'll be Zoicha to literally Baruch Shem Kavod Malchusai L'Olam V'Ad. Freilich and Lichtig and Chanukah, it was a pleasure to be here. I thank you. I mamish got chizuk.